So I was going to give you a normal review of this book, how I usually don't give spoilers, but then I thought on it a little bit and realized that everyone and their grandmother has read this book, and I am just very, very late to the fandom. So today I give you my first book discussion, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This book discussion is going to be how normal book discussions are, where I just give you what I thought of the book and a general synopsis in the beginning, and then I shall delve into all of these spoilers and things that happen in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the first book in the 7-book Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. This one centers around Harry Potter, whose parents were killed in a car accident, or so he's been told. He goes to live with his aunt and uncle, the Dursleys, who have an annoying son named Dudley. Life can't get much more horrible for Harry. He lives under the cupboard, he barely gets presents for his birthday or presents for Christmas. His aunt and uncle cannot stand him. One day, he receives a letter from Hogwarts, which is a mysterious school for witchcraft and wizardry, and it is soon revealed to Harry that he is a wizard. I really enjoyed this novel. I do not know why I had not picked it up sooner. I believe I was really young when these were becoming popular. This was published in 1997, so I was not born yet. When these were really popular in the mid to late 2000s, I think, I was still young, and so I think I just couldn't get into it because I wasn't really into reading then, but now I'm into reading, and this is a really good book. I love the characters. This book was probably not the most exciting in the series. I haven't read the other ones yet, but I've heard that this is just mainly setting up the characters and setting up the world for further books. So we have the conflicts between Harry and Voldemort, or He Who Shall Not Be Named. So we have that conflict set up already, and it will probably be furthered within the next books, because I kind of know this already because I have seen the movies. Well, parts of the movies mixed together, so they're all over the place, so I haven't technically been spoiled yet. That is the end of the non-spoiler section. If you haven't read it yet, which I doubt, because like I said, everyone and their grandmother has read this book, I would leave if you don't want to be spoiled, and I really would read this because it's a very interesting book, and I thought it was very delightful to read. It was a delightful award-winning debut from an author who dances in the footsteps of P.L. Travers and Roald Dahl. So I would read this, I would come back, and then we can discuss spoilers. So bye! Get away. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the Dursleys. I hated them with a passion. They were the most awful people to their poor little nephew, Harry. I mean, yes, I understand Dudley is like this spoiled, rotten little child, and I know that these characters were set up to really make you feel sympathetic toward Harry, but I just really do not like them at all. They're just like, oh, the teacher's wig turned blue, we're gonna blame that on Harry. Glass disappeared, we're gonna blame that on Harry. Every little thing that happened to Harry, because he was a wizard, they blamed on him. I did not believe they knew if he was a wizard or not. I'm pretty sure they did not believe he was a wizard. They just knew his mother was a wizard. But they had never said anything to Harry, and they seemed pretty surprised when the Hogwarts letter showed up. I would not want to live in a cupboard thingy under the stairwell. I felt really bad for Harry. You live in a cupboard, you have an awful aunt and uncle who don't care any about you at all. You have an awful cousin who just sits there and whines all day and complains about not getting presents. Harry put the plates of egg and bacon on the table, which was difficult as there wasn't much room. Dudley, meanwhile, was counting his presents. His face fell. 36, he said, looking up at his mother and father. That's 2 less than last year. Darling, you haven't counted Aunt Maggie's presents, see? It's here under the big ones from Mommy and Daddy. All right, 37 then, said Dudley, going red in the face. 37 then. And we'll buy you another 2 presents while we're out today. How's that, Pumpkin? 2 more presents, is that all right? So I'll have 39, sweetums, said Aunt Petunia. Oh, all right then. I've never seen a more spoiled, rotten child than I have in this book. He gets like a television and a bike and a video camera, and then within a week he breaks them all, and yet he has tantrums and can't stand the sight of Harry, who gets a pair of Uncle Vernon's old socks for his birthday. I really, really love the part when Hagrid continued to send the letters to them because they were trying to outrun all the letters, and Uncle Vernon thought he'd finally outsmarted the wizards, but you don't outsmart wizards because you can't. So they go to that little hut on the rock thing, and then here comes Hagrid breaking down the door, hitting everything, and just coming in like the giant he is, and frightening them, but he's not really... He's kind of one of those things that is like a freaky package, but on the inside he's just like this little fluff ball of happiness. I mean, he seems like a very sweet giant, if that does not seem like an oxymoron to you all. Next we have Harry and Hagrid going around in the wizard shopping center place. It's really awesome because you're being introduced into the wizard world as Harry is being introduced into the wizard world, and I found that very exciting, and I really enjoyed him finding his wand. And then he finds his wand, and it is this whole thing with the same wand that he has stuff that Voldemort's wand has, and so it's like connections all over the place. Sadly, I know why they're connected, because movies and watching and spoilers. I really want to go to Hogwarts. That would be so much fun. Like, to just be able to play Quidditch and go flying around on a broomstick. I wonder what I'd be. I don't think I'd be a bludger because, like, I don't like hitting things. Well, I play softball, but I'm not the best at batting, so I probably wouldn't be able to hit the bludgers. I'd probably swing. The bat would hit the person I'm trying to protect, and I'm not very short, so I don't think I would be a seeker. I could probably be a chaser. I mean, I can throw and I can catch, but being a keeper would be kind of difficult because you'd have to block stuff, and I'm not sure if I'm coordinated in that respect. The houses are so cool. I know Divergent came out after this, but Divergent almost kind of reminded me, like the factions reminded me of the houses, because the houses all kind of have that one personality trait that they go around like the factions do. I'm pretty sure I would be in Ravenclaw. Slytherin are cunning, and they all seem evil, so I would not be Slytherin. I'm not the bravest person in the world, so I would not be Gryffindor, and Hufflepuffs just seem really soft. And I would just like to be a Ravenclaw. I mean, they value intelligence, and they're wise, and wise old owl. I like to learn, so I would be a Ravenclaw. Would you be a Ravenclaw? Would you be a Gryffindor? What house would you be in? What house do you think you are in? I'm sure if you're here, you have done Pottermore, so yeah, Pottermore put me in Ravenclaw, and I assumed I was Ravenclaw. One of those selection hats. They just like sing. Oh, you may not think I'm pretty, but don't judge on what you see. I'll eat myself if you can find a smarter hat than me. I want a hat that sings and tells me where I belong. Oh, it was so cool how Harry was just sitting there thinking, not Slytherin, not Slytherin, and suddenly the hat was just like, oh, you don't want to be Slytherin? Good wizards have come from Slytherin. But Hagrid said that, like, there hasn't been an awful wizard who has come from anything besides Slytherin. Like, no you won't see a Hufflepuff becoming Voldemort. You will only see a Slytherin becoming Voldemort. Like Draco Malfoy was an annoying little, okay, he's just, The second Harry met him in the little wizard mall place, I knew it was Draco because I don't know, I've seen the movies. I've seen parts of the movies anyway, so I know who Draco is, but I was just like, oh, that's Draco, because he thinks he's too amazing for everyone else. Like, oh, I know how to play Quidditch, and my daddy's a wizard, and meh. Okay, I know Hermione gets better in the series, but in this book, in the beginning, I found her quite annoying. You're gonna lose points for Gryffindor, Harry. We're all going to lose points, and then we're going to lose to Slytherin. I wouldn't want to lose to Slytherin either, but I mean, you don't have to nag the boy who lived about to always. I don't remember which page it was on. I can't find it, but I thought this was hilarious. Hermione, you could have gotten us all killed, or worse, expelled. If you die, you can't be expelled anymore. I agree with Hermione though. School is important. I like learning. It's a good thing. It's going to help us in our future. I'm with you, Hermione. I am. From the beginning, I did not like Snape. He just seems to have this awful grudge against Harry, yet Harry is only 11 years old, and so it's just like, stare, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I don't like you. Harry is only 11, and he hasn't done anything yet except live and survive against Voldemort. I never would have suspected that it was him trying to save Harry from the little hex Quirrell was putting on him. I thought that was Snape, like, the whole time. That ending thing, Quirrell, whatever, like, did you suspect that? I did not suspect that at all. Like, Quirrell seems like the little stuttery person, and then, oh, hello, Harry Potter. Suddenly, he doesn't have a stutter. Suddenly, he's not this little afraid little bunny rabbit person thing, but he is part Voldemort as well. Voldemort was suddenly on the back of his head. I was wondering why he was wearing that turban. I didn't know why. I was just like, what turban? Is that a wizard thing? Like, they just wear turbans for fun? Turban. But no, the turban was hiding Voldemort's face. I had recently, before I started this book, saw the very ending of Sorcerer's Stone, and I know Harry was looking into this mirror, and then I saw Voldemort's face, and I was like, what is that? What is going on? And now it all makes sense, but I did not suspect that at all, and it was crazy. Oh my gosh, that whole ending thing where they have to get through all the charms to get to the Sorcerer's Stone, I thought that was amazing, and Hermione is just so quick and fast with all those logic things, and I feel bad for Ron because he got knocked out by the chess queen person who's, yeah. There's a lot of all caps in this book, and I liked it. There's not enough all caps in YA. Like, why? It's hilarious. It shows all of the feeling. Like, in most books, it'd be like a scream wrenched itself free of her throat. But no, when Harry Potter screams, it's ARG! A-A-A-A-A-A-R-G-H! Exclamation point! I love it. I love it. I do. I love it. Then at the end, we have Gryffindor being in last place because Harry and Hermione had lost so much trying to get that dragon to Charlie's friends. They lost 150 points for Gryffindor, and so they were in complete last place. We have Professor Dumbledore, the crazy, hilarious, brilliant Dumbledore, just coming in and going, you get 50 points, and you get 50 points, and you get 50 points, oh, and you get 10 points, because you stood up to people, and that shows Gryffindorness. We're gonna give you 10 points. It's just like Oprah. It's like, you get a car, and you get a car, and Gryffindor wins, and I love it. And then Harry has to go home to the Dursleys, and that is where we left off in the end of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. What did you think about this book? I really enjoyed this book. I'm so sorry if this is just completely all over the place because I really like this book and I am not used to book discussions, but it's all over the place and I really like this book and I cannot wait to start Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets because I have it and it's here and I'm going to read it because I feel like it and I want to get it done because I want to read the whole series so I am not late anymore and I can understand all these Harry Potter references on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and I could be in the loop and just enjoy this series. Yay! Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at 2bookteens, on Twitter at 2bookteens with 2 S's, on Goodreads I'm Maddie, Gabby's Gabby, and we're both on NaNoWriMo now, so buddy us. Gabby is Gana13, it's GAANNA 13, and I am MaddieKins121, so become our writing buddies. I will see you hopefully later on this week with a review of the Chamber of Secrets, because I'm hopefully going to speed through that. I'm Maddie, I'll see you next time, bye!